Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we have a special edition where we're going to be tasting some new offerings from Green River, the great distillery out of Kentucky. We'll be having some fun with that. My name is Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Jim Fosnot here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar. Hey, Jim, how you doing, man?
Fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing good as well, so should be good. Good times going on here. Obviously, we are extremely busy. Let's talk for a little bit. We're getting ready to hire a first person, and what's going to be nice about that is it's going to be able to extend our hours. It's going to be someone helping us out from the day-to-day stuff, running the business. Another set of hands. When we have our events, we're as busy as can be. A lot of times, we're lucky enough that our wives come and help us out. But in lieu of that, if they're not available, and there's been times when you and I have had to do it by ourselves, and we've actually relied on customers to help us out. I mean,
yes, thank God for Pam and a couple others.
Yeah, Pam and Dave, if they're there, they usually just jump right in and help out, which is fantastic. But you can't rely on that. You can't expect your customers to do so.
Yeah, and I'd rather them not, to be honest with you. I'd rather them relax and enjoy their evening.
That's what it's about. So adding an individual to do that will be fantastic. I think the next job we want to fill after that, and I think there's some different things. I think there could probably be at some point another part-time worker, again, that reports to this new hire that we're going to get, that can also be a fill-in, kind of a floater. Hours vary depending on when we need. If we got an event, we have yet another person here because we know you and I, but when our wives work, we have 4 people, and we're all 4 as busy as can be when we have one of those events. So having another person that could float would help. I think we need an event coordinator when we open up the speakeasy. I think that's a big thing. I think having someone who can focus in on creating events for our members, and I'd like to see where we get to having something almost every day of the week. That would be an ideal thing, don't you think? I think an event coordinator would be
someone's good at planning that kind of stuff out. I don't know what that position looks like per se, but I know what you're talking about. And
it can also help out with the events on the other side too, on the barrel shop. I mean, we do a lot of events there. It takes time to coordinate those.
For sure.
And I think we're to the point too where. Jim, I think we're actually to the point where we're going to have to ticket all of our tastings. Again, these are free tickets, but they're getting so big and so popular, we can't just throw it out and say, hey, we got a tasting at 3 o'clock and then have 50 people show up.
Well, we did. We ticketed our last free tasting event, and we had max tickets for the first event.
And almost we had 20 on the second event, which meant we only had 6 seats unaccounted for. And again, you throw it out. Just if we would have had tickets, I would safe to say you get into an over situation, and then people are mad. And events are supposed to be fun. Goodwill's created, not frustrating. Not I drove up here, now I got to go home because I can't be here for this.
I can't.
Yeah, so
I got to wait around an hour.
We got to be careful. Matter of fact, some of we got Demetrius Kane coming back in a few weeks. I think we need to ticket that.
100%.
He's just that popular anymore that you can't just throw it out there and think that less than 24 people are going to show up.
Well, I think it makes everything work smoother also, not just for the customer, but for us. If we know how many places we're setting, if we have a rough idea. I mean, people don't realize it. Getting that glass route, getting everything poured, ahead of time so that you can be efficient with the event takes time and takes planning, and it's hard to do when we've done this without it being ticketed, and we don't know if 5 people are showing up or 50 people are showing up, and we've had to scramble, on a few of them to get a lot of extra places set. Things were way busier than we thought they'd be. And
so I do think that's a job. Again, I think that's after the speakeasy opens. Then we've got a second venue, and again, booking events and things like that. That's going to be available for birthday parties. And we want someone that handles all that stuff. You and I don't want to get involved in the minutia of planning out birthday parties and making sure everything's here. And I'm definitely not the person for that, and I don't think you are either. No. So that's down the road. And then the other thing, I think at some point, again, part-time job, we're a small company, but part-time at some point, a social media type of person would be ideal. Again, not some heavy hitter who's working for a Fortune 500 company that now we hire, because we're a small company, we don't need that. But someone who might want a part-time gig that they can do in their leisure. Again, they wouldn't have set hours, but I think that'd be a good thing for us too, don't you?
Yeah, someone who's very well versed at it. Not that, you do a great job with all that now, but even you admit you don't know how.
I'm not an expert at this stuff.
The logarithms,
Yeah, I don't know how to do that stuff.
So that would definitely be down the road. Someone. Maybe we can kill 2 birds with one stone, find an event coordinator who's great with social media. Yeah,
it could be. It could be. But I also want to make sure that the person's good at their job. The other thing, too, and we may have this resolved already, but my cousin's a bartender, but I think we need to get a professional bartender in at some point, too. I think that's a different job. Now I think our events person can jump in, but, there's going to be events where you need more than one bartender. And I think you want a professional bartender, someone that's curating that stuff. I do think we're going to get some of our cool friends, Jackie Zykan and Molly Wellman, to help us out curating cocktail lists, but then you need a professional behind the bar making those things, too. So
for sure. And that's definitely not me or you. Our cocktails are basically whiskey neat.
Yes.
I'll make that for you all night long. I make hundreds of them a week. That's the stretch.
That's about what we do. So yeah. Anything else? I think when we get to that point, we're in pretty good shape, don't you?
Yeah, at that point, we're ready to hire up, and you and I head to the beach.
Yes, yeah, that would be a very nice position to be in. So yeah, so there you go. There's kind of just throwing our playbook out there. What we're going to need down the road, and I think some of those things will happen sooner than later. Some maybe longer term. Just we have to get to that point where we're ready for that. But I think these 2 businesses, that's what you need to really make this thing a big success. So on that note, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, it's going to be time to taste these 2 whiskeys. We've got a wheated bourbon, and we have their regular traditional recipe from Green River. We'll be tasting both of those when we get back. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We'll also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Kathy Cool, and I can't wait to pet your goat. And you're listening to the ABV Network.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. We are at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar, and we're getting ready to try two products from Green River. All right, the first one's going to be the Wheater. That one's going to be on your left, Jim. This is their wheated bourbon, so let's, on the nose, it's good. This is, we don't know much about this. We just know that it is a 90 proof offering. And again, not unexpected. This is their regular offering that they're going to be kind of flagship whiskeys that we've got here. So their flagship Wheater, flagship regular bourbon. All right, let's give it a taste. It's solid. Yeah.
That's exactly how I would describe it. It's solid. It's not overly complex, but it hits all the right notes. It's a classic style.
Yeah. This is what you want, and again, I think the sweetness that you anticipate from a Wheater is there. I do think it has a finish, which is something that you always have to question anytime it's below 100 proof. Is it going to have a finish to it or not? It does, which is nice. And I feel like, and again, Wheaters can be so soft they can get lost in the cocktail. I feel like this one's got enough there would hold up in a cocktail.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of bite to it for a Wheater, which I think would hold up in that cocktail. A little backbone to it, I think. It's definitely solid though. This is what if I'm ordering a wheated whiskey, this is what I would expect to get.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. The next one we've got is their traditional bourbon recipe, which is going to have rye as the secondary grain. And again, this one also comes in at 90 proof. Again, you're looking at the shelfies for this. I don't know where Green River's going to go. Again, relatively new distillery, particularly when you're talking about offerings that are related to under the product line Green River. They had a name before that where they had a different process to making whiskey. This is all stuff that's made the traditional way, and so that's what we've got going on here.
Just off the bat, looking at it, it is definitely darker than Wheater, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, not sure why that works. But the funny thing about anything with Ryan, you always think of that aging quicker. So, a rye whiskey is traditionally younger than, a regular American whiskey or even wheated whiskey. So this is interesting that it definitely looks like it's older. We don't know. There's no age statement here, so we don't know what it is, but let's give it a taste. Oh, that's also interesting. It's got kind of a banana note to me. Kind of reminds me of like a Brown-Forman product a little bit.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah. It does have a little bit more spice to it that kind of hits you on the back of the palate. And again, for what it is, this isn't one of our barrel picks, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the product that you go to the store, you find it on the shelf, and I think it's a good representation of that.
Yeah, it's surprising to me the Wheater actually I think has a longer finish to me than this one here. Not that this has a bad finish, it just lasts longer than that.
Yeah.
But again, it's for what you're getting, it's what you would expect. It's a solid offering for sure.
Yeah. So again, this is something that I'll be on the lookout for. I think Green River's doing some good things, and of course, our friend Jacob Call, who was there for many years, would be the individual responsible for making this. He's of course moved on now. But, they were certainly in good hands with him, and hopefully things are going well there. I know they're a big player at this point. That merger with Bardstown Bourbon Company really puts those two organizations as really key players in the industry because they're doing a lot of the products now that are being sourced. We think of MGP, but if someone wants Kentucky bourbon, they're going to turn to Bardstown, they're going to turn to Green River, and these are the kind of the two companies. And, of course, they're affiliated now, so kind of a cool thing for them, but they're also making some of their own products as well.
Well, they've got some capacity now as well, so they can definitely crank out whiskey pretty quick.
They can, for sure.
So that helps fill the void for those who can no longer get stuff from MGP or whatever else. So they're going to definitely be a big player.
Yeah. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up, as we always do, by talking about where people can find us. Jim, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fosnot, on Instagram at FozJim, or Most days hang out here at the ABV Barrel Shop, Arnold, Missouri.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows, our blogs, our newsletters, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, as Jim mentioned. The ABV Barrel Shop is a great place to taste some whiskey, check out what we've got in terms of new barrel picks, that sort of thing. You can follow along or even get signed up for our email and text distribution at abvbarrelshop.com. We ask that if you like the show, please give it a 5-star review. It helps new people find the show, particularly when you leave comments. That helps out like you can't believe. And please head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network to get involved in that way as well. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with the national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.